What's up, YouTube? So today I wanted to go over how to fire your pottery in a pit fire and the exact process and steps to do that. So follow me on this journey. So the first thing that you want to do when starting a pit fire and starting the firing process for your pottery is you want to make an initial fire, and you want to put your pottery near that initial small fire. You don't want it to get too big or too hot. You're really heating up the pottery. So once you start heating up the pottery, you're going to start moving it closer and closer to it. So you want to have it propped up like I do, where it can get as much surface area of heat onto it. You don't want to have it laying down and only hitting maybe the side of it. So by propping it up on that stick right there, it can absorb the inside and pretty much all of that front surface area. Um, and then later on, you'll end up moving it closer to the fire. So this is a gradual process, and it's going to take a little bit of time to warm your pottery up, and you want to make sure that you do it slowly. The quicker you are with this, the more likely it could crack or just not get all of the water out before you do your main firing for your pottery. So here you can see that I start moving it a little bit closer, and I also turn it over, and you can tell that it's not heated up enough yet because I can still touch it with my hands comfortably. Um, Once it is heated up and you feel like you can't hold it for more than maybe like 3 seconds, I feel like that's a good time to open up that coal bed and put your pottery in it. And then you just want to keep surrounding your pottery more and more with that coal. And at the same time, I'm also gathering up sticks from around the yard and building up my fuel source for the main fire. So I pushed more coals around the pottery. I made the coals get closer and closer to the pottery, and I also put some more little small sticks and stuff on it just to kind of keep those coals burning. You don't want to spread them too thin because then it won't be uh, giving any more heat to the pottery than you initially had it. So you want to make sure that the coal bed isn't spread too thin and it's still close to your pottery. And now I'm just building up the initial first step of the main fire. And I just make almost like a little, like a little log cabin type base. Um, and my thought process on that was, if I make a barrier around the pottery before I make the other shape, which is going to be like a TP style, so that convection can pull, so that I can create some sort of convection and kind of focus the heat a little bit more, so that when the longer sticks burn, if they do fall, they're not going to fall on top of my pottery. They'll fall on this wood barrier, and you'll see a little bit later here in the video. So now that I have this structure built, I'm just putting in some more tinder so that the embers will catch this tinder again and start a fire. And I'm trying to space it out evenly so that everything burns at about the same rate. You don't want any one area to be too hot. So yeah, after it starts burning, you're pretty much just going to let it burn all the way out. If one side looks like it's burning too quick or it's maybe thin with fuel, then add a little bit more to it. Other than that, you're just going to let it burn out and wait for those hot embers to get cooled down. And what I wanted to do was a little bit different. I wanted to do a horsehair style pottery pattern on it, where you take, initially people took horsehair and they would take out the pottery when it was hot, still in the embers, still glowing, and they would take horsehair because it was thicker and put it on the pottery to give it these cool dark jet black wispy lines on it. But I was trying to do something similar, so I did it before on a different piece of pottery, and it came out pretty good. And I used some of my girlfriend's hair, and so I just tapped some from my family because I wanted to make something that everybody put. So I'm pretty sure I heard it popping there. The things that could affect that would be I didn't let it heat up long enough. Maybe the clay wasn't heated up before I put it in thermal shock and bring it up to such a high temperature. Or maybe it wasn't dried out enough yet, which I made that bowl maybe like a week ago. So didn't really have that much time to dry out, and I didn't put it in the oven to preheat it or to dry it out. I just let it sit beside the coal, so that could affect it. And if you don't dry it out properly, then it could pop. And I'm pretty sure I heard it popping there. I've had a bunch of pottery that's popped already. So what else you got?
Inside.
Oh yeah.
Somehow, because
yeah, luckily it was good enough for everybody to be outside. So.
leave them candy canes. You got them at Dollar or IGA. Yes, they were about $1 a piece. On the door.
Oh, on the door. Yeah, I also saw your bedazzled door on the stack there. It looked good.
Like $1 each. Shit, easy. I might stick some on that front window.
The bottom of it broke. I already saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it cracked all the way through?
No, not all the way through. Just the bottom end area is probably thicker than. If they're not of the same thickness on all sides, and it could mess it up.
Did you do the pattern on the side?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, like a natural forming or something. the darkness in the center of it come out?
No.
Is that for mash? That's like regular.
Yep. Alright, let's try it out. Yeah, that pottery's not as hot as the last one I did. You can still see it. Pretty much got to do it right when it comes out too.
It's still melting.
Mm-hmm. Absorb some of that, but it's not as hot as the other one.
It sounds cool though when you turn it.
Yeah, it sounds
Just
like
the sound
pottery.
of it is different.
Mm-hmm. And it was,
Like
yeah.
tin. It sounds more like tin now.
Ting ting.
So that melts into it. That's wild.
Yeah, this originally is called like horsehair,
Yeah.
because they would use horsehair pottery or horsehair style. So usually,
Little extra goodness when you use some human hair.
yeah, it gives it more subtle lines and stuff. See, that's not even hot enough to really absorb it.
Yeah, it cooled down pretty fast after it came out of the cold.
But it still have some black.
How long does it take for it to, just as long as it takes to melt? And then it's...
Yeah, I mean, if it melts and it might not have even been hot enough to absorb a lot of that carbon. Well, because you'll see it after you'll be able to scrub it with the sponge and it'll still show the black. I don't think it's hot enough.
It was hot enough to make it hard. That's cool.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd need something more than just a good
It's not even
built
hot enough.
fire.
Alright, gonna get hot. Okay. Yeah, so that was it. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did find this helpful, please let me know. Comment in the comment section below and tell me what I can improve on. I definitely would love some sort of feedback or criticism, because it just helps me edit these videos better, and it keeps me motivated and gives me new ideas for other videos that you might want to see. I'm sorry I didn't actually get the pottery up close and show you guys. It was too hot at the time. I didn't feel like picking it up or going to grab anything to pick it up. But if you'd like to see that in a later video where I, clean it off and then show you the finished product, let me know that as well. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up and tell me what you liked about the video. Other than that, thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.